Hello again, everybody. This is Rob Boberty, and welcome to Leviathan Starblade. Now, Leviathan Starblade is kind of in some ways, it's kind of a standard shoot 'em up, but it's got some interesting things to it that I kind of like. It was made by Dressier Studios, or Dressier Digital, which is a small father and son studio with the daughter helping with the songs, I think the description said. The developer, the father, I assume, sent me a code to this, and I gave it a try and been playing it for a little bit. It's kind of interesting. I'll have to show you some of the things. First of all, you have different choice of ships, but this doesn't, as it says up in the corner here, all the ships do the same thing. The difference is cosmetic. So what I generally do is I pick one that's nice and bright. I like this design, and I pick one that's nice and bright so I don't lose myself. And it's WASD to move, and it does have keyboard or controller support, but I usually just use keyboard. I'm just more used to that. And this is where it gets kind of interesting. You have a primary weapon. You have all these different options. You've got like a single fire, a double fire that's not quite as strong, a triple fire that's strong, still only in the center. Different options for different firing things. And you pick that this one's like a shotgun. It's kind of strong, but it doesn't go across the screen. This one's kind of interesting because it shoots, but it's just a single shot. But if it hits something, it deflects off into other things. So if you have a lot of enemies, you can actually do a lot of damage with that. And this one's a double fire, Fragarash. It's a pretty strong weapon, but you can see it's kind of slow and only goes in those two directions. And then this one's just a little minigun shooting. I kind of played around with it a little bit, and my favorite is actually this one. It lets me kind of get the whole screen if I got a lot of enemies, and don't have to be a good shot with it, like I'm not. But you pick that, and then you have a secondary weapon. Now the secondary weapon is obviously the same weapons, but you switch between them, and so it's kind of interesting strategies in this, because you find different ways. Like you might find yourself, if you're surrounded by enemies, this one's obviously really useful, and this one, like I was saying, if there's a lot of enemies, it's really useful. This one, if you've got big enemies, so that might be really useful on like a boss battle. There are boss battles in this. Generally, I've been trying to find something, let's see, like I was saying, that is strong. Let's see, I'm trying to remember which one I did last. I think I'm going to try the octuple fire one. So if I get surrounded, I always have that option. And you see you can kind of switch between the two. And multiple buttons do that. And then the last option is the Starblade. Now the Starblade, you have 5 options. The Starblades are used for destroying projectiles in certain ships and boss minions, which I think are just small ships that come out of the bosses. And they all have different options. And first of all, they all have a turret on the left click, as you can see on the bottom there. It's just, I think these are all the same on all of them. I don't think there are any difference in strength, but they seem to be a pretty strong one, and since you can aim it directly at them, it's kind of useful. But then if you right click, you have the Starblade, and the Starblade is taking care of projectiles, and also there is a charge up every time you destroy a projectile. It increases that, and then I think you hit C to release that, and it does different things depending on it. I think most of them just fires a really powerful projectile, which, as far as I've seen, you want to save for the boss. It doesn't seem to be too useful, except for certain ones. Like this one actually heals you. Obviously that you want to use when you're about to die. The Prometheus Glaive, free fire. Now this one, oh yeah, that's the other thing. If you're shooting your projectile, or if you're using the sword or the blade, you can't fire any of your other weapons. So it's kind of going back and forth a lot. But that's why I like the Prometheus Glaive. You can still shoot and do this. So you can kind of fly around doing this, just keep this going and getting any projectiles around you. This one is kind of interesting if you're a more direct fighter. That destroys everything, everything except bosses and some boss bullets. So for getting through most of the levels, you can just kind of plow through things if you're careful enough. But you also kind of run into things. And the Vulcan Lance is just this huge one, kind of a basic one, except that it's really large. And whatever that says. This one is just a basic one, but it makes you go faster, which is kind of cool too if you're a good dodger and want to get in there. But my favorite is the Prometheus Glaive. I played through a not played through, but played a bunch of levels and messed around with it. My favorite is just doing this because I can just keep my right finger on this, keep this going. And actually something little I found is if I hold down both buttons, or no, if I hold down the turret one and then I left click, it changes to the sword. I let go of the left click, it changes back. So I just have one button to worry about with the sword part because it starts to get to be a lot of buttons. So I'm going to give this a shot, and there are 18 sectors in an infinity mode. I have not beaten a sector yet. I played a bunch of them, but I've only gotten to the boss on the first one. I'm not doing that great on it, but I've played around with it a little bit. I'm going to see if we can get through the first sector here. So, no, I'm doing it wrong. There we go. Oh, it's not working like it was now. Oh yeah, it is. Okay. The sword overrides. The sword overrides the turret. So as you can see, I'm taking out these bullets, and you want to do that so you don't get killed, and also you want to charge it up. And so what I've been trying to do is just charge it up as much as I can so that I have a bunch of big shots for the bosses. And also this game, you have to kill everything. Well, not everything. You can only miss so many. Over on the left, it shows misses allowed. It says 0-10, so I have 0 of 10 misses allowed. And if I get 10 misses, I lose. So that's kind of adds a little danger to it. And that's my life bar up on the left, and a bunch of other stats that you may or may not need to necessarily look at much. It shows you the progress of the level. There's 178. I thought I got too close there. 178 enemies I have to beat before I get to the boss. And it shows the progress on that. And also shows like how many times you missed and how many times you've been hit and stuff like that. So you definitely don't want to get hit, obviously. So I'm gonna... Oh, shoot, he's about to leave. You can see on the left there, I've got 2 chargers on the ultra weapon, so I'll be able to use that twice. The last time I played, just kind of testing it out on that, I got to the boss and I completely missed him with the ultra weapon. It was just this big shot, but I aimed it wrong. And it just completely missed him. And I don't know, like I said, I don't know if all of them... Obviously, I think the heal one... I don't know if it heals and you get a weapon, or if that is like the equivalent of the weapon. But all of them are, I think, are pretty much the same. They're just a big shot, but I'm not entirely sure of that. And we are getting close. I've only got 8 more, so I'm just gonna finish this up here. Get rid of these guys. Hopefully not do something stupid and die right before I get to the boss. I need a little more. There are some opportunities to build up your charge more on the boss, but it's definitely good to start. Okay, here we go. Here's the boss. Okay, I think, can I take these ones? Yes, okay. Whoa, I don't think I can take that one. Okay. There we go. I don't know what that, how much good that did. Okay. And because I got this spread shot, I'm just kind of letting it hit him when it hits him, and worry about avoiding stuff like that, and getting some of these so I have more charge. Oh man, he changed directions on me. Shoot. Okay, I need to get a bunch of these. I need to charge more. Whoa, I had the mouse in the wrong spot there. I thought it was... Okay, make a little bit of progress, but I'm also getting hit because I'm watching too many things. Okay, oh shoot, I just ran through that trying to avoid it. Okay, what I think I might want... Oh, shoot. What I might want to do, should have done, is got a powerful weapon. Oh, there we go. Now I got enough. A powerful weapon on the secondary. There we go. Oh, it didn't seem to do much. Does that not hurt him? Is that only for... Oh, is that only for regular enemies? Maybe. Oh, we're going to get him here. We're getting close. Still take care of it. Get these out of the way. Okay, well... Whoa! Shoot. Okay, I got him. I thought I was going to die. I got a little close. And if you play... I think I said at the beginning, or not the beginning, but wherever I was on the menu. Let's see. Energy ships can only be destroyed with the Starblade. Okay. I think I said when I was at the level select, all the levels are open. Maybe I didn't say that, but all the levels are open. You can go to any of them. I'll just go to that. Yeah, you can go to any of them, but if you start at one of them and you beat it, it'll take you to the next one. You can continue on. So overall, this is kind of a cool game. I like the unique things they've done with the weapons, where you kind of there's some strategies you can. I'm going to go to that. Some strategies you can employ in those, like the different different blades are kind of interesting. I have played with a bunch of them. The destroyer one I kind of liked the idea of, but I did horribly at it. The one where you can just ram it into things because I just kept dying. The Vulcan lance was really good for collecting a lot and also protecting yourself from, from the bullets. And the speed, I just run into things with that. And then the healing, obviously, healing is good. But that's every 100 charges for 10 structure points, and I think that's out of 100 is what you start with, which is kind of useful, but can only get it. I've only ever been able to get a couple charges in the level, so it's limited in its usefulness, but especially if you want to try to beat the whole thing, that definitely is something you would need. And of course, all the different weapons. I really do like what they've done with this, with all the different. That didn't do what I thought it did. We've done all the different kind of weapons, and there's actually some differences in the way they work. A lot of times you see games with multiple weapons, and really it's like this one's just the stronger one. This one's, you got the spread and stuff like that, but these have some interesting things in it. Overall, it's a fun game. I think it could be fleshed out a little more. There's not much story to it, and if you don't care about the story, that's fine. That's fine. You might not care anyway, so that might not matter. And I guess you don't need it for a shooter, but it would be kind of nice to have more of a story like that progresses as you do. There is a story, but really, honestly, this is the story. I don't know if anything else comes up later. Obviously, when you beat the boss, it didn't do anything. I'm not going to read this out loud, so if you want to read it, you can pause it here, or you can go to the game page, and I believe this same text is on there. But overall, it's not a bad game. Like I said, I think it could be, some things could be changed, not changed, but enhanced a little bit, could be added to, but it is kind of fun. And for $3, which is how much it is on Steam, that's not bad. So not a bad little game. But anyway, I'll put the link down below if you are interested in it. But anyway, this has been Rob Boberty with Leviathan Starblade. Thank you for watching. As always, subscribes, and shares are always appreciated, and I hope you have a great day.